inch by inch guide to feed your fry to full grown flowerhorn fish. As you gaze into your flowerhorn tank, watching that little firecracker dart around with its tiny fins flaring like it's already the boss of the ocean, you can't help but wonder how much food is just right to fuel this pint sized powerhouse without turning your setup into a poop fest or stunting its growth. Is it a sprinkle of pellets for a 1-inch fry or a handful that could sink a ship for your 8-inch behemoth? And with Okiko Platinum Large pellets in hand, the go-to for so many of us Flowerhorn fanatics, figuring out the perfect portion feels like cracking a code to unlock a healthier, happier fish with colors that pop and a hump that's on its way to legendary status. Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Aquatics. I am your host Himanshu Suri, and with over 15 years of hand-on magic in the mesmerizing world of flowerhorn fish breeding, hundreds of fry from thumb-size tykes to tank-dominating titans, troubleshooting feeding fails that could have sunk lesser setups, and celebrating those glow-up moments when a well-fed fish transforms into a showstopper. I have fine-tuned feeding regimens that keep my cichlids not just surviving, but struggling like superstars. If you're a wide-eyed beginner with a 2-inch newbie wondering if 2 pellets are too many, or a seasoned keeper with a 7-inch giant eyeing its Okiko bag like its buffet, this video is your ultimate feeding playbook. Today we are not just dishing out portions, we are crafting a complete diet plan tailored to every inch from 1 to 8, using those nutrient-packed Okiko Platinum Large pellets as our star ingredient, while weaving in the full spectrum of what makes a flowerhorn healthy and happy, from protein punches for hump dreams to veggies vibes for gut harmony, seasonal twist in our Indian monsoons, tank-made considerations, and those what-if scenarios like overfeeding disasters or picky eaters. We'll explore the why behind every bite, share laugh out loud stories from my New Delhi breeding chaos like the time a 4-inch fry turned my tank into a pallet apocalypse, and simple analogies that will make the science feel like chatting with a friend over chai. This is going to be an engaging, eye-opening R plus feast of insights that'll have you rethinking your next feeding session. So grab your pallet tub, maybe pause to measure your own flowerhorn swagger, and let's feed our way to fantastic health. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll never miss a video from Blue Aquatics. To really hook you into this feeding adventure, let's start with the heart of why getting portions right feels like unlocking a secret level in your flowerhorn's growth game. Imagine your fish as a tiny construction crew where every pallet is a brick for building muscle, color, and that iconic head hump that turns heads faster than a fireworks show. Flowerhorns, those bold hybrids born from the fiery spirits of Central American cichlids like the Red Devil and Green Terror, are eating machines with metabolisms that burn hot, demanding a diet that's 40 to 50% protein to fuel their territorial antics and tissue explosions. But here's the twist that keeps us all guessing. Too little food and your flowerhorn stays a scrawny shadow of its potential, with a hump as flat as dry old soda. Too much and you risk bloat, constipation, or a tank turning into a toxic soup from uneaten bits, fermenting like forgotten leftovers in the fridge. Okiko Platinum Large pellets entered the scene as the hero Malaysian made wonders with 45% protein from fish meal and krill, laced with astaxanthin for red rocket fuel. Laced with astaxanthin for red rocket fuel and spirulina for digestive zen, all in bite-sized chunks, perfect for gulpers without the air-gulping drama. These aren't generic flakes, they are engineered for Flowerhorn's greedy style, floating just long enough to tease before sinking, letting you watch the feast without guesswork. In my early days, I overfed a 3-inch Kampha on guesswork, watching pellets snow down like confetti while ammonia spiked, lesson learned, and now my tanks hump with precision. The beauty, feeding by size isn't rigid math, it's a dance. Adjusting for activity that hyper flarer needs more, tank mates, sharing means portions shrink, and even mood. Picky days call for variety. We'll break it inch by inch from 1 to 8, building a full diet plan that keeps your Flowerhorn not just fed but flourishing, happy in body, bold in behavior, and bursting with that person pride. Ready to portion like a pro. Let's swim into 1-inch world where every bite counts double. For your 1-inch Flowerhorn fry, that thumb-size spitfire that's all eyes and attitude. Barely out of the egg sac but already eyeing the world like its kingdom. Feeding is a delicate art of temptation and restraint, where Okiko Platinum Large pellets need a gentle introduction to avoid overwhelming their itty bitty systems. At this stage, your little one is a growth machine, doubling size monthly if fueled right, with metabolism reviving like a race car in a neutral, needing frequent, tiny hits of nutrition to build the skeleton for future humps and colors. Start with crushed or soaked platinum pellets, breaking the large size into pea-sized crumbs about 1/16th of the full pellet per feeding, offering 4 to 6 sessions a day. Each time just 2 to 3 crumbs that vanish in 30 seconds. Why so sparse? Their stomachs are thimble sized and overdoing it leads to bloat, where uneaten bits ferment and spike ammonia faster than you think, and faster than you say, what a change. In my nursery tanks, I scatter these crumbs in a feeding ring to prevent hoarding, watching the fry swarm like piranhas at a buffet. Fascinating chaos that teaches portion control. Tie this to a complete plan. 70% platinum crumbs for protein backbone, that's a building those early fin rays. 20% infurus 20% infusoria or baby brine shrimp for live motion that triggers hunting instincts, keeping them active and happy, and 10% mashed spinach for fiber to keep guts gliding smooth. Variety prevents pickiness, skip a day on live foods, and they sulk like kids missing candy. For health, this mix supports slime coat development, warding off early parasites, and happiness comes from the hunt, mimicking wild scavenging that builds confidence. Possibilities: if your fries in a community raised with tank mates, halve portions to avoid bullying. Possibilities: if your fries in a community raised with tank mates, halve portions to avoid bullying. In monsoons, up frequency to counter cooler temperatures that slows digestion. Track with a journal 1 inches on this plan. Hit 1.5 inches in 10 to 14 days, with eyes sparkling brighter. It's the foundation. Feed smart and your mini monster starts dreaming big. Moving up to your 2-inch Flowerhorn. That feisty juvenile now packing a bit more punch, with fins starting to fan and a hint of personality peeking through, like a teenager testing boundaries. Portion graduate to match the growing engine, but still with the finesse of tightrope walk. At 2 inches, your fish is hitting a growth spurt, needing calories for length and early hump hints. So bump Okiko Platinum Large to quarter pallet pieces, about 3 to 4 per feeding, soaked to soften for easy chomps. Spread over 3 to 4 sessions daily, ensuring the tank clears in under a minute to dodge waste buildup. Why this why this sweet spot? Their digestive tract is lengthening, handling more protein without overload. But greed kicks in, overfed, and they gulp air, pressuring the swim bladder for upside down swims that scream health. In one of my New Delhi batches, a 2-inch SRD named Spark ignored quarters until I danced the feeding stick. Once hooked, he polished 4-inch go. He polished 4 per go, gaining zero point 0.5 inches in 2 weeks with a subtle forehead swell. The full diet plan evolves: 60% platinum for sustained energy, lysine for tissue repair after play fights, 25% frozen daphnia or mosquito larva for omega fats that plump proto humps, 10% blanched zucchini for roughage against constipation, common in fast growers, and 5% calcium dusted artemia for mineral kicks to fortify scales. This keeps them healthy, strong, with immunity from vitamin C in veggies and happy, with live foods sparking joyful chases that burn energy and build muscle tone. All possibilities for active males flaring constantly. All possibilities for active males flaring constantly. Add a session in planted tanks. Veggies doubles as plant food, recycling nutrients. Monsoon humidity slows metabolism. Warm water to 80 Fahrenheit for better uptake. Measure weekly. 2 inchers thrive, hitting 3 inches with vigor, fins waving like victory flags. It's addictive. Watching them level up feels like parenting a prodigy. By 3 inches, your flowerhorn is shedding baby fat for sleeker profile, that awkward adolescent phase where the body elongates and the head starts asserting itself like a crown jewel in the making, demanding feeds that bridge juvenile spark to adult power. Portions step up to half pallet slivers of Okiko Platinum Large, which is 5 to 6 per meal, lightly soaked to sink mid-water for natural foraging. Across 3 sessions daily, with the tank bottom clean in 45 seconds to maintain pristine parameters. This size is pivotal. Metabolism peaks, needing 1.5 times the calories of a 2-incher for bone density and early color flashes. But greed amplifies, risking fatty liver if unchecked. Recall my 3-inch Kamfa Luna who hoarded halves like a squirrel, leading to a bloated belly. Introduced a timer feed weight, siphon leftovers, and she slimmed down while her forehead rounded noticeably. The diet plan refines: 55% platinum for amino acid floods, methionine for hump collagen, 25% chopped earthworms for iron-rich blood health, preventing anemia that dulls activity, 15% spirulina flakes for detox, countering palate binders, and 5% shell shrimp for chitin that buffs slime coat against scrapes. Health-wise, this wards off fin nips from play, keeping wounds healing fast. Happiness blooms from the chew worms. Wriggle turns meals into games. Variation: tank mates like snails means 20% less to avoid scraps. Dry seasons: up moisture in feeds for hydration. 3 inches rocket to 4 inches in just 14 to 21 days. With personality popping fares and chases that light up the tank. It's the gateway to glory. Feed wisely, and your teeny bopper becomes a teen terror. At 4 inches, your Flowerhorn hits that sweet spot of juvenile confidence. Body filling out like a linebacker in training, with the head hump teasing a future throne. Portions now demand precision to channel energy upward, not just out. Go for threefold Go for threefold pallet chunks of Okiko Platinum Large, 6 to 8 per feeding, unsoaked for slight float to encourage surface hunts. Twice daily plus a light evening snack, clearing the water in 60 seconds to sidestep nitrate creep. This stage is growth's golden hour. Bones harden. This stage is growth's golden hour. Bones harden, hormones stir, needing balanced fats to pad the hump without obesity. My 4-inch Zenzu pearl was a pallet vacuum, inhaling 10 at once until I portioned with tweezers. Post adjust, her head gained 25% volume in a month. Scales pearling like fresh snow. Diet deepens. 50% platinum for broad spectrum vitamins, especially E for antioxidant shield against free radicals stunting growth. 30% frozen bloodworms for heme iron, boosting oxygen for energetic swims. 15% mashed peas for fiber, easing digestion after protein feast. And 5% calcium powder, dusted cyclops, for trace minerals that fortify the nuchal base. This keeps health robust, preventing itch outbreaks with strong slime and happiness high bloodworms. Blood red wriggle mimicking prey for instinctual joy. Possibilities abound. High activity males get an extra worm session. Community setups trim 2 pallets for shared resources. Monsoons, warm feeds to counter cool rain runoff. 4 inches surge 4 inches surge to 5 inches in 21 days. With swagger emerging, mirrors become mirrors of destiny. It's mesmerizing. The right bites build not just size but soul. Reaching 5 inches, your Flowerhorn is no longer a kid but a contender. Body robust and head asserting dominance like a budding emperor, where feeding shifts to sustain the surge while honing efficiency to avoid waste wars. Opt for full Okiko Platinum Large pellets, 8 to 10 per meal, positioned mid-tank to promote natural scavenging. Twice daily with a midday top-up of halves if active, ensuring zero leftovers in 90 seconds for crystal clear water. Metabolism stabilizes here, demanding quality over quantity. Excess leads to fatty deposits, elsewhere not the head. In my logs, a 5-inch SRD blaze ballooned sideways on free feed until I capped at 9 pallets. Head focused, he lengthened 1 inch in 3 weeks, hump rounding like a rising sun. Plan involves 50% platinum for sustained release energy, B vitamins for nerve health, keeping flares sharp, 25% live black worms for probiotic gut boost, enhancing nutrient uptake for hump fats, 25% broccoli florets for sulforain detox, clearing toxins that cloud colors, and 5% oyster shell grit for pure calcium, scattered like treasure for foraging fun. Health thrives, worms ward parasites, veggies balance pH internally. Happiness, the hunt for great turns meals, meditative, reducing stress. For variations, breeding hopeful up. For variation, breeding hopefuls up, veggies for egg prep. Solo tanks allot 2 extra pellets. Dry heat, hydrate feeds with tank water. 5 inchers claim 6 inches in 25 days. With personality parading your tank's theater opens. It's the pivot. Portions power the performer. 6 inches marks the cusp of adulthood. Your Flowerhorn, a sleek machine with head hump, stealing the show. Feeding now, a strategic symphony to sculpt rather than stuff. Preventing the fat but flat trap. Deliver 10 to 4. Deliver 10 to 12 full Okiko Platinum Large pellets per session, scattered to encourage patrols, twice daily, vacuuming remnants in 2 minutes to keep bioload in check. Energy needs peak for muscle and hump, but efficiency rules. Overfeed and liver fat diverts from head gains. My 6-inch Kamfa Titan was a pallet hoarder, gaining girth but not glory. Portion to 11 with movement prompts, his crown swelled 35% in a month. Weaned like marble. Diet matures, 45% platinum for micronutrient mosaic, zinc for hormone synthesis, fueling testosterone for head bloom, 30% chopped silkworms for silk proteins, building elastic tissue without bulk, 20% kale ribbons for lutein, eye health for better hunting, trying to activity joy, and 5% krill oil drips for DHA, that brain boost for smarter, happier behaviors. This fortifies health. Silkworms fight inflammation, kale alkalizes. This fortifies health. Silkworms fight inflammation. Kale alkalizes. Delight comes from ribbon chases, like laser tag for fish. Talking about tank mates, trim to 9 pellets. During monsoons, add warmth for digestion. 6 inchers conquer 7 inches in 30 days. With majesty mounting, farewells to youth, hello to hegemony. It's intoxicating. Feeds forge the future king. At 7 inches, your Flowerhorn is a force. Body battle, hardened and head a herald of power. Where portion prioritize, polish over pile-on. Sustaining the surge while warding off plateaus. Offer 12 to 14 Okiko Platinum Large pellets per feed, in patterns to mimic streams, sparking exploration. Twice daily with spotless clearance in 2.5 minutes for toxin-free tranquility. This size balances growth and maintenance. Calories fuel displays, not excess. At 7-inch pearl scale of mine, Luna slacked on 15 plus until caped. Head gained density up to 20% in volume, gleaming like a pearl in sunlight. Plan peaks, 45% platinum for endurance blend. Taurine for heart health, powering endless energy. 30% earthworm chunks for collagen, hump ferments. 30% earthworm chunks for collagen, hump firmness like leather. 20% carrot shreds for beta carotene, color lock-in for red retention, and 5% brewer's yeast for B complex, which works as mood elevators for playful flares. Health holds, yeast bolsters immunity, carrots detox liver. Happiness, shred hunts build bonds with you, the provider. Variations: shows up to 16 for bulk, heat waves down 2 for cooling. 7 inches master 8 inches in 35 days. With Thron claimed your tank's tail turns triumphant. 7 inches master 8 inches in 35 days. With Thron claimed your tank's tail turns triumphant. It's the crescendo. Bites birth the beast. Hitting 8 inches, your Flowerhorn is full adult, royalty. A tank titan with head hump, a crown of conquest, where feeding flips to finesse. Maintenance with muscle memory to keep the giant healthy and happy without the juvenile greed. Scale to 14-16 Okiko Platinum Large pellets per meal in rings for territorial mapping. Twice daily, pristine in 3 minutes to honor the bioload. Energy sustains swagger. Excess risks obesity, dimming shine. My 8-inch SRD blaze peaked at 18 until refined. Sustained size with vibrancy, hump holding firm, diet for longevity, 40% platinum for holistic harmony, probiotics for gut microbiome, key to lifelong vigor, 30% frozen myces shrimp for joint support, easing age wear, 20% pumpkin puree for beta glucans, immune armor against elder foes, and 10% garlic infused daphnia for anti-parasitic zinc, preventing joy. Health: shrimp lubricates, pumpkin fights, fungi, happiness, myces dances delight the dancer. For greater than 8 inches, up variety, alternate with Hikari carnivore sticks for texture. Add occasionally beef heart for iron, weekly trimmed fat, and fast bi-weekly for reset. Tank mates, adjust down 4. Monsoons warm purees. Beyond 8, they stabilize at 10 to 12 inches. But feeds keep the fire hump hold. Colors captivate. Life a legacy. It's the encore. Portion preserve the pinnacle. All possibilities wrapped. Picky eaters, flavor with garlic. Overeaters, timed feeds. Seasons, monsoon moisture. Dry protein. Health plans, wet checks yearly. The joy? Well-fed Flowerhorns aren't just big, they are blissful bosses. Thanks for feasting with me, Himanshu Suri on Blue Aquatics. Share portions below. I reply fast. Like, subscribe, feed fairs. See you next.